Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to the channel. It's your boy, World of Wrestling, here today to discuss about WWE Smackdown from December 6, 2024 review. Yes, I understand I'm extremely late on doing this review. It's been almost a week now, going on 6 days. And yes, I did watch the show live when it occurred, but I didn't finish watching it until around, I'd say, 12 a.m. almost, because I had a ton of other things to do. Fridays is one of the worst fucking days for me, so I prefer to do it in my own free time whenever I find the courage and the enthusiasm to actually do the fucking review. Personally, I thought SmackDown was an average show. It wasn't super great, but it wasn't super bad either. We had our main event, I believe, was Chad Gable and what's his face? Cody Rhodes going one-on-one. Yeah, that was the main event. We had the tag team titles changing hand with the Motor City Machine Guns defending the titles against DIY. Johnny Gargano swerves us all, making us believe that the Tommaso Ciampa himself are having problems within, and we find out that that is not to be. It was all a host, and they pretty much were playing us all for suckers. But in reality, they were in intention of beating the holy hell out of Motor City Machine Guns and taking advantage of their friendship so that they can get the rematch and cheat to win. Johnny Gargano actually ends up low blowing, I think, Alex Shelley in the groin, and we get shocked by this, and then they end up winning the match altogether. And that's how that whole situation occurs. Chad Gable went up against Cody Rhodes earlier in the show. He cut a promo how he's Cody is going to beat Kevin Owens at Saturday night's main event, and so forth. We do have confirmation that he may actually be using the old school WWF Wing Championship belt for Saturday night's main event to get that nostalgia feel to it. And yeah. Chad Gable gets in the ring, though. We find out that Raw and SmackDown can go back and forth now that Raw is going to Netflix. So they want to have the flexibility of both products, both USA and Netflix, getting the advantage to use both all the roster. So they're allowing allowing talent to show up on each show whenever they feel fit. So that's pretty much what we're getting here with this. I kind of like it. I think we need to just get rid of the brand split altogether. But this is as close as we're going to get to getting rid of the brand split. While still making each title seem significant and important for them to be in use. Because if you make the brand split discontinued, you also got to get rid of a lot of the other titles that are on each show, because they're not really necessary. So with the brand split still technically existing, we still have the ability to have titles shared among other performers, giving everyone an opportunity to at least hold a championship of some kind on the respective brand that they're working on specifically. And that's just the way I kind of see it. I don't see anything wrong with it. So I'm riding with it until it changes or seems to be fucked up or wrong or whatever. Anyway, after the Cody Rhodes Chad Gable segment, we cut backstage and see Naomi talking with Bianca Belair. Naomi tells her she will have to get through her match first, and she walks away. In comes Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Pretty much this was a discussion about the situation with Jade Cargill. Chelsea Green tells Bianca that she must be relieved now that War Games is over because she can now focus on finding out who took out Jade Cargill. Bianca accuses Niven of taking out Cargill, and Piper calls out Bianca, and Bianca hits her in the face, but they double team, taking Bianca down. Later on in the show, they actually have a one-on-one match. Triple threat match for the Women's United States Championship Tournament with Naomi, Tiffany Stratton, Elektra Lopez. Of course, Tiffany Stratton wins the match. What are you, fucking kidding? Gotta be crazy. Decent match, nothing terrible. We cut to Brian Saxton backstage, and we see Nick Aldis with the Street Profits, and the Street Profits are down injured. Aldis says they need medical attention, and he runs into the Motor City Machine Guns, tells them that the Street Profits are hurt and cannot compete. In comes Johnny Gargano, and he says DIY can step in for the match tonight. The champions agree to have the match. Okay, so that's how that all unfolded. We cut back to the ring, and out comes Bianca Belair for a match against Piper Niven. Piper Niven, of course, loses the match to Bianca Belair and gets the win by pinfall. A video package of Shinsuke Nakamura winning the United States Championship airs. And then we see Bianca Belair walking backstage, and Dominic Mysterio is in the background talking to Aldis. Naomi tells Bianca it feels good to get her hands onto Piper. Bianca tells her it did, but she saw her match earlier and she is sorry. In comes Brian Saxton, and he tells Bianca that he saw Niven sitting at Gorilla 2 weeks ago and she did not attack Jade Cargill. Bianca tells her she doesn't know who did it, but when she does find out, it's over. Shinsuke Nakamura's music hits, and out comes the new U.S. champion to the ring. Nakamura is in the ring. Out comes LA Knight. He tells them, "Let me talk to you." And that the megastar is in the building. LA Knight tells Nakamura that he is the sorriest example of a U.S. champion. He tells Nakamura that he is not the real deal, and the real deal is looking at him right now. And he says him standing in the ring holding something that belongs to him. LA Knight tells him he wants his rematch, and he wants it now. LA Knight gets in the ring and says he will get what he wants. Andrade music hits, and out he comes. Andrade begins to talk, but LA Knight cuts him off. He says Nakamura is in debt, and he is here to collect. Andrade gets on the ring apron, but Tama Tonga trips him up, and Jacob Fatu gets in the ring, and he attacks LA Knight from behind. Solo Sikoa gets on the ring apron, and he looks at Nakamura, but Nakamura begins to let out some black mist, and the Bloodline look at Nakamura, and he backs out of the ring. Fans chant OTC, and Solo gives out orders. LA Knight gets back to his feet, but Solo hits Andrade and LA Knight with the Samoan Spike. Fatu puts the Alafala around Solo's neck. Solo tells them that for anyone who thinks that the Bloodline is finished or weak, he dares them to step up. He says this is what will happen if you do, and the Bloodline will take your ass out every single time. He says he is tired of people not taking him seriously, people thinking that he's a joke. Solo says he is still their tribal chief, and the fans boo, obviously. Solo says he is still the head of the table, and he is still the Alafala. Still has the Halafala. He says everyone will acknowledge him. Solo drops the microphone, and the Bloodline raises their fingers to the air, and his music hits. We cut backstage and DIY are preparing. Ciampa tells Gargano that he didn't forget what he told him last week, and still did not get an answer for last week. A pre-aired video of Kevin Owens in his car airs. He says it sucks when Michael Cole has to interview. He says if Cole wants to interview him, that's fine, but he won't show up. And if Cole wants the interview, he's going to have to come outside in his car and do the interview there. WWE Tag Team Championship match. Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY. This was a good tag team matchup. Very enjoyable. And a nice little twist at the end, causing everyone to scratch their head as we all got played like fucking idiots. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa become the new tag team champions. We cut backstage in DIY with Candice LeRae are celebrating their tag team title win. Michael Cole is outside and Kevin Owens tells him to get in his car. Owens tells Michael Cole they cannot do an unbiased interview with him being Cody's number one fanboy. Owens says Cody left in 2016, but he didn't stay. He didn't. He stayed. Cole says it's not just even Zayn. Cole says it's not just about Cody. He tells him that the Usos and even Zayn thought it was a good idea to help Cody or Roman Reigns. Cole tells Owens he is the problem, and Owens gets angry and tells him to get out of his car, and Owen drives off. He also mentions that he will be dealing with Sami Zayn in due time. That's very interesting. I hope that's not saved for a WrestleMania match, because I really don't want to see a Sami Zayn Kevin Owens match at WrestleMania. We cut backstage and Nick Aldis is shaking Gunther's hand. In comes Carmelo Hayes and he asks him what is up. Hayes tells him he needs to figure out where he fits in, because if he can't, he'll go to Raw on Netflix. Aldis tells Hayes that him going to Raw and becoming Adam Pearce's headache is a thing to celebrate, and he walks away. Next up was the main event, Cody Rhodes versus Chad Gable in a one-on-one match. This was a okay match. Cody ends up winning, obviously. Chad Gable loses like usual. I don't quite understand it. Kevin Owens gets in the ring, though, after the match is over. And he steps on Cody's foot. But in come WWE officials who try to break it up. Cody in one another. And Owens in the other, but Cody jumps over everyone and begins hitting Owens, throws Owens to the outside, and he lands a suicide dive onto Owens. Both men fight as officials try to break it up, and Smackdown goes off the air. I think the show is fairly decent. It had some good storyline progression, but it was kind of a light show, nothing too heavy or anything like that. So it was okay for what it was, but I will say that it wasn't exactly super great. It was a light, decent show that was somewhat entertaining, good storyline progression, so on and so forth. So that's pretty much all I feel about this episode. Nothing exciting occurred. I apologize, that's the laundry going off in the background. But yeah, I enjoyed this show for what it was. But again, 2 hours worth of content that wasn't super bad or anything like that. Fairly decent and pretty entertaining stuff. Like noteworthy things to enjoy and watch. So I give them a B for their efforts. I think it was a fairly decent show. But anyway, guys, at this time, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. Leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. Thank you guys very much for watching. And I'll be back soon with a review for Monday Night Raw as well. So thank you, and have a great night, guys. Bye.